All right. So I think last time we did talk about ORM, and then we really got deep into what ORM is, and we tried few things that ORM does, and I remember vividly of telling you, so okay, ORM is just basically, an approach, all right? What is this? Why is this guy thing like this? Okay, that ORM is just simply approach, okay, to convert data between incompatible type. Then we did made a statement. We did make a case study of where you have different types of database systems, and coming with different data structure. All right. So in respect to the data structure that we did earlier, of course, data structure provides a way to make your data in a well-defined pattern. Okay. So and this is like knowing that probably an integer is going to come from somewhere, but you do not know how it's going to come from. But each time, in most cases, you have to present yourself with should I say a kind of system where you have to work individually for how you retrieve your integer value from its server. Okay, so now this is where ORM comes in. All right, so ORM is just like it's a concept. Okay, and of course a concept that imitates data structure. Okay, then pull in your data from whichever source and make them have that consistency over time. Okay, that consistency over time is always there. So each time, for example, you want to get whatever data that is associated with that model or with associated with that object, you get exact data every time. Now if you want to perform actions on those data, you perform the actions without having to worry about the dirty things you have to do in respect to multiple data systems. All right. So and then I remember vividly, so where we got these guys. But before then, let me push this out. I remember I didn't push this out. So if you notice, I think the next one. So there are some couple of things we will have to look into. So if you look at our ORM is relatively slow. So and there are several techniques we may have to employ to make sure our ORM is fast. But then I think in subsequent classes we really talk about that and probably work on that. So for now, let's focus on. All right. I don't know. Let me just push this at once to the master. Probably, maybe later on, we can then do some review. There's no point of me checking out. Okay. Okay, so we have the previous class now on Git, so you can go pull that out, and then probably, yeah. And your next assignment is just having to add more features to our ORM. Okay, I think that's what the next assignment is based off. Yep. How do I put it? No. All right. Okay. All right. So now I would like to introduce you to one other thing. Okay. So in most cases, you are trying to see for example, if you are working with Laravel in most cases, so you see that when Laravel is implementing their collection, so when you look at deep down into Laravel's collection facade, or the collection facade implementation, so you most times will see that it is an array, but in some ways it is iteratable. All right. Now PHP provides a simple way, to turn an object into an iterative object. Okay, so what are iteratables? So iteratables in PHP are simple classes, all right, basic PHP classes that can be looked over. All right. So most of the cases you find where you can, for example, you have users, all right. So you have user collections, all right. So if you have a user collection, you can easily do what? Look through a user collection, and inside that collection, so there are basic other functions, okay? Like you can easily, get reference to the number of objects that are inside of that collection. So you can, do a lot of things, okay? You can do a lot of things, set flags, and do some other stuff you want to do. Okay, those stuffs are basically iteratable. They are called iteratables. All right. So and of course, so I can hook you up to one. You can always come down. PHP nets. Yeah. So okay. All right. So in most cases, every iterator always implements, this iterator classes. All right. There are several ways to do that, to go about this. All right. So and of course, so they have their basic functions of what you do or what is allowed to be do. You have something like current, then key, next, and so on, and valid, and is and so on and so forth. Then you have the whole object can do what can be iterated, right? So and in most cases, so in respect to ORM, so most times what you do, you can form it. This is just like a blueprint where you can form another class on top of this, all right? So remember where we did, this multiple inheritance stuff, okay? Doing a lot of things. I wouldn't even be able to stand and, explain a lot of things we did in the last class, but I believe you do understand.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now, so we should easily just maybe get something to work with. Probably there is a PHP class called array iterator. Okay, so we can just on our get method should be an instance of that class. Okay, so let's say for instance, array iterator is now our collection. Okay, now each time you call the get, so we should get a collection of items. All right. So then we already do have all. So it shouldn't still be that bad. So if we pull out this all and then fix the value, okay, as an iteratable object, okay. All right, so new array object. So I can just pass in this all, and yeah. So this is it. But then there are still several things. So you imagine if you're working on Laravel in most cases, so you can always append this guy. So there are several ways to go about that, but I'm thinking which is going to be the best way for us to go, this route and make sure that everything is in some way coupled. So the next one we should have is it's just simplifying. Already, although I told you already, you should work on this, but then let me just do a few ones. find ID. This is, let's die this out and see how we can work, because we need to make this an instance of this class. All right, so to but then there are still ways you can handle this. All right. Remember when we did, okay, and let me show you something else. Function. All right. Yeah. Quadratic. So this should allow you to do. Probably you can easily just do something like user fine. Okay. So you can easily do something like this. I can easily pass a reflector here, like and tell it. So once this stuff is called, so it should be a valid call. Allow methods. Then fine. So this is a bad design anyway. But for now, probably we'll review it. I think probably there's a problem I'm trying to think. Probably we should get down there. So once you get down there, so we should be able to, understand how to resolve that. I wouldn't want to talk about it now. Okay. Yeah. Oops.
What was the error?
Okay, so this has to be a static method, okay? This is going to be a public static function.
This parent isn't it supposed to be an array of data?
I didn't get what becomes an array?
Argument
Huh?
on this called static argument. The name and the parent. I'm talking of the parents.
The params?
Yes, parents so should be an array.
Yes, of course it's an array. I can easily just spread it. Thinking of a better way to handle this now. For now.
what will be the output of this call static, like the response?
All right, the response. So number one, if you are calling, any call static, so it means you are mapping all static functions you are trying to call. For example, this, if I change this to this, all right, so this should still give me the result of what I want. Do you understand?
Yes.
This should is not like, okay, when you are trying to set a kind of how do I put it, a kind of I've forgotten this language to put this in. How do I put it?
Evolve.
So, what is it?
Is it like to resolve?
No, you're not resolving. So it's just like, you are using an error for your advantage. Okay, I've forgotten how to put this one. Okay, you are using an error for your advantage. Okay, something is actually, you are trying to call a static, sorry, a method that does not exist. This is for instance. Okay, so the after effects, okay, because of that method does not exist, or if it does exist, so it comes down here, and you probably not probably you get the method that is being called, and then you manually handle it just the way you want to handle it. So in this case, I want most of the things to be handled statically, and as well can also be handled in some ways from object, okay, where you can change. All right, so if I'm calling it statically, all right, so it means this is going to call the method like the way it is. You understand? So this is normally, if you look at for example, the or, we are trying to or here. All right, so remember, we do have all here.
Yes.
All right, we do have all here, and all is not a static function. Okay, like we want to use the side effects. All right, do you understand? So this is just like when you're programming and when you're making advantage out of side effects. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so even I think I did use it in the route. So if you look at the route, yeah, in the whole route classes, should be the request and the whole thing. So you should see observe get body. So you can see this. All right. So now this is not called static, but this is just like, okay, I'm trying to call whatever method I'm trying to call. Now each time I'm calling a method, okay, so this is what I'm getting.
Yes.
All right. So I'm getting the name and I'm getting the arguments.
Yes.
All right. Now, once I'm done with that, so the next thing I do is I'm getting this thing here. All right. I'm getting this guy here. Okay. I'm getting two variables out of this thing now. All right. So this is just an array picker. So where I have route and I have what from this list of arrays. Okay. I can have as many as other arguments I want to have, but then I'm picking this out. Now remember, so this the same approach too. You see, so then you can see if we have the actual method, okay, that the user is trying to call, it gets the method return. If it doesn't, if it's not there, it throws an error. All right. So if you look at this, let me still show you some other thing. This format routes, you see run trim, and then we are calling this guy. So you can see where we just set header method not allowed. So now look at this. So if in an array, whatever that is here. So if this thing is not here, all right? If this thing is not here, simply just through this invalid method handler, okay? So this is just like building from a side effect, all right? So I have a basic error handlers here. One of default error handler, just basically setting header, all right? Another one basically still setting another header, all right? Now the next one is I do have this call, this super global call, all right? What's it called? So now oh, sorry about the noise. So now what I'm doing, so I pick up and then build from there after effects. So if you've probably called any method that I do not want you to have access to, probably you call this guy or you call this guy. If you don't call anything, probably let's go down to the route class. I thought so, sorry, now if I get here, if I call something like trash, do you understand? So
Yeah.
I can now easily throw an error telling this person that this thing does not exist. Now tomorrow, I can easily add just another handler for this whatever this is. You understand? And I wouldn't have to do a lot. I just need to insert it somewhere. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's just like taking charge of I've forgotten it. I've forgotten again. So we get back to what we were doing. So now back to what we were doing. So I can still now do something like, of course. So if there are several ways to go about this. So I can just make this. All right. So throw an error. So simple. Let me just put this for now. Just this. So if it's there, so let's handle that there. Let's handle that guy now. So list. And I'm just going to say whatever this name is. Allowed methods. Allowed method, then the name. All right. Sorry. Hmm. Okay, exactly. Please get past some of our please. Zero. I don't know if you should. These are chemists. Said was here already. And sorry about the break. This is a bit personal. I feel like sharing, but then no issues. So Said, welcome. Is yet to connect his microphone. Okay, so sorry about that. So now there's a problem here. So I think I will just move it to the actual base model class. So yeah, this should be much more instance, and of course, so instance name, and then the next thing I should do is still same way I did this. So spread whatever that is there. All right. So we're done. So I don't know if you understand this. Do you understand this at all? Let me even get it running. So I think from there, then you can now have to ask lots of questions. All right. So tests. Yep. So we ran into a problem that spread operators is not supported in assignments. Oh. So this is where the issue is. So I'm looking for a way we can, another way we can handle this is to use loop to spin this. So it's to use loop to spin this. So I'll just for each allowed methods. So whatever this is. So for each this guy. as var. So we just so we do need a group of variable to, yeah, let's try this. Tup, 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 tup. All right, so we got this to pass, and of course, so let me show you this. Die Vadom. Okay. Call static name. All right, so we finally got the error to throw down. So now we got So all. So we don't have all here. So then why is it so let's dump this and see what's inside of here. The false. So we've got all, and in allowed methods there is all. So why is it not calling it all to little stack? Method step to name, and of course all methods. Name should be all should be there. So why is it saying that all is not there? Interesting. Oh, yep. I know why that is happening. So we are yeah. So we should get these things to pass now. Yeah, it's true now. So of course that should be then the next one. All right, so a different error should be thrown now. So I don't want to waste your time too much. I think we'll just look for a way and bypass these guys very quickly. Tup, 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 tup. Any so thinking of doing some other weird things, but since it's not working out, so probably we might have to change the approach. So the next approach I should be using or be trying out to use should be to get the actual ID and then probably turn the ID into a kind of valid. So now when you are passing this thing into, so you can easily now pass just the params. So I can easily now pass them by numbers. All right. So for example, if I'm expecting, let me just show you what I mean. So for now, I'll remove this. Um, mm, but then let me explain this. So probably we should cover this up in a whole new fresh new episode. Probably some other times should have looked for a very better way of handling that. So for now, let's stick to this guy. Mm, mm. Sorry. Actually, let me just say this at once. My little daughter went out for immunization and she's been crying ever since. And I wouldn't lie to you, I'm not really comfortable, but then we have to, Okay, so this is loading the actual whole class. So instead of just loading the table, but then I think mhm. Okay. So, but then you get the check anyway. So I wouldn't want. I don't feel like injecting. I don't feel like injecting this other class once it's been called. But I think that would have been a better method to inject the class that is being called. But even if you inject the class, so because of this protected variable, so you will likely not see it. Ah, so I don't want to do these dirty things. These dirty things is getting me. Um, it's not getting funny. Um, get table. This without them. So uh, let me just show you this, then I can move on to something else. Probably you can deal with this some other time. Or maybe I'll create a personal this, and then we can deal with some of these unplanned issues. Okay. So there we go. But then there's been a lot of dirty things that's going on. So now, in most cases, when you're calling stuff from a static class, all right, so PHP does not really allow you to call some to access some this, these stuffs right from a static variable. So now you can do some static binding, okay? This is leading me now to talk about static binding. Then I didn't really want to talk about that. I didn't even think we were going to come down here. So, but then, any question before I proceed? Any question?
Oh, no question for now.
Okay. Now, so like I did say before, so there are several ways we can pull this out. So it's just about thinking about best approach and then getting this thing done. So probably I wish there's much more time. So there are several other things we would have liked to deal with. I would have loved us to trash this thing once and for all and then get out of here. But then this is basically not a static function, all right? So, but then you are making PHP, all right, to treat it like a static function. This is most times where what Laravel does, all right? So you realize that you have some normal function, okay? But then the under binding is binded to be static, all right? So in many ways, it is really not static. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
All right. So now, yeah, you want to say something?
Yes. What I'm trying to understand is you are calling the table that's the to-do table. This,
yes,
but it's not responding. Is giving us the instance of the class, not the.
Yes, it's giving the polymorphic instance of that class. So now it is now left for you to pick up that class and then decide what you build on it. All right. So this is shall I say, the primary behavior of trying to get functions from trying to get functions from a what's this thing called? From a static trying to get attribute or trying to get methods or attribute from a static method. So most times it will only return you back the class instance, okay, like the polymorphic class instance, and then allow you to decide which or what you actually want to do with it. So, but then there is still a workaround it. So probably the workaround is what might take me a little bit of time to get us into being familiar with. But then I believe you've gotten the concept, so we can now proceed to some other things. So now we have this guy, so we can still do the same thing too. We can still do the same thing to you know um to to we can still do the same thing to this find with. All right. Now there are situations where you want to call them like you do, so you can also do your what public function underscore call. All right. So this should allow you to, of course, implement whatever you want to implement, do whatever you want to do. Okay. Get the name of whatever you're trying to call, and then it can still be the same thing, like where I pick so let's move on to class specific things. So these are class specific things. And of course, please hold on. Okay, so sorry about that. Ah, so now the next thing we should try to do is, get this guy to whatever we want to do right here. Um, so we have about two things. Probably time is actually going. So there's another class actually pending. I think I will do personal. I'll have to do personal meeting so that let's complete this thing once and for all, and then get out of here. I need us to solve this guy, solve this problem, and then solve this problem and get one other. There's one other problem pending, and then get that one to off the neck, and then you can move out to something else. But before then, so before then, let me just display some. Oh, let me leave this for now. All right. So yeah. So only these two should be allowed. For now, uh, so, 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 so. So let me just do something. Okay. So I believe I can also apply this thing to this guy. Call static. Since I already have, this just came into my head right now. So I think this is even the best approach to getting this guy resolved right now. So we should be good to go. Up, 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 up. Object type of no not callable. So let's check what is in this thing. Call all. Where is it? Call all. Yep. So we got that running, and yes. So that works fine. Fine. So yeah, that's good. So let's spin this guy and see if that works. Exactly. So I think this is actually what we've been looking at. We've wanted, and yeah, works just exactly the same way I did want it. And yeah, so we should get it going. Yep. Fine. So now to the next one. So let's try and see if we can pass params to these things, and then see. Let's call another function. Call find with ID. So let's try find with ID. Find one. All right. Yep. So expected this. Exactly. So great. So this works just exactly the same way what we've been looking for. All right. This has been crazy. I mean, really crazy. Fine with, and of course, so this is our next enemy now that we need to solve. This is our next enemy where we need to solve to do. So this should work very well now. Yep, of course we have this. And what is this? 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 So this is an array. So what you just do with find with. So nothing much. So all we are just going to return is call. So I'm just going to do copy and paste. All right. So instance equals new this, and of course C, and then I should return the instance. Yeah. So you see, so we got our our perfect model. So everything is no more just MySQL. So we have an object right here where we can do whatever we want to do with. So we have table to be new. So I think this we'll sort this out later on. Yeah, for this we'll sort this out later on. For now, let's just focus on getting these things to run just the way we want. Public ID string, and of course, what's the next thing that we should implement? Oh. Okay, so there is a warning somewhere that I have 18 minutes left, so I have to worry. But then I feel we should have a private Zoom stuff where I sort this thing. Okay, where I sort this thing, we need to use this thing the way we want it. It needs to be the way we want it. We need to apply some magic in here to resolve the last, because we are not actually going to be resolving this class, so we'll be resolving the last class. All right, so it's going to be some polymorphic thingy. All right, so we have to resolve this guy. Where is that guy? Yeah, this is the guy we should be resolving, not this guy. So this is the guy we are resolving right now. So we shouldn't be resolving this guy. So we should be resolving this guy here. Where is it? Yeah, this guy. We should be resolving this guy. I think that's the next big thing. So we will be doing. And what else? What else? So now I wanted us. I'm as confused as well. Don't even know. Oops. Now, okay, we did still have get. So I don't like this. Just a call get. So this is to allow me to do whatever I have to do. Okay. So moreover, you can change this thing. You can change this thing. Then the other thing I would also want us to do, there are still plenty things we need to do. Plenty things in my head. So we need to make this model these are very rich. It needs to be very, very rich. So call it. I want to talk about this iterator. All right. So, but before then, so let me include them in the bootstrap. All right. Yep. So, yep. So we can just easily call this thing now. And yep, we have our iterators. Okay. So I think this makes much more sense now. So I can easily just say, I can easily just do something like this. For each as user. All right. So then I should die Vadom user. So that should work perfect. So you see, so I have the object of whatever this is. So you can see this is this model. Okay. Now there's something sometimes that can allow you to that hidden and visible thing Laravel does. Okay, that allows you to see which variable you are trying to see once you are dumping. So there are some hacks. I don't know if I should even talk about that concept, but then I don't. It's no time. But for now, any question before I move very fast? There's no more time. Any question? Okay, Gabriel, go on.
From my side, no question. No question from my side. I think I'm following.
Okay,
So,
okay. So now, so this is much more pretty, very easy. So I think I have done a lot. So this looks small, but it's big. So you can, there are still ways you can abstract this. This is, there is duplicate here, and there is duplicate here, and there is duplicate here. But the only thing is this instance. So there is duplicate here, and even here, there is still duplicate here. But then we need to be generic about this error. Method not defined. So because but shall we can still put it here? Okay. Uh, mm, yeah. So should take instance. Tap, tap. So how do I put this? I need to make it much more generic. So they have arguments, instance, instance, arguments. So I need to type in this guy. So this is string. All right. So I cannot pick this thing. Yep. Yeah. Name, and of course, next thing is arguments. So it is okay. Okay, just 1 minute, so we should be done. And probably I'm looking at us doing. Oops. Oh, so this is for the upper one. Yep. This. Oh, that one is called new self. New self. Yeah. So while this one is this. All right. So everyone should be smiling right now. So everything should work. No. Why is it no? I wouldn't want to. Okay, so actually, so there's a class about to go on. So please let's have a quick fix our class. Let's have another class, all right? So to complete this thing, there's still much to talk about. So say, I mean, you and Omo, so you push just fix up a class. So let's continue this. Let's complete this thing.
Okay. We'll message you now. For the
Okay, all right.
class.
Okay, you can end.